My name is Joel. In this episode of Unplugged, I talk to Wim Hof, also known as the Iceman. Wim is originally known for his ability to withstand extreme cold. He holds 26 world records, including one for longest ice bath. But he also climbed to 22,000 feet at Mount Everest, wearing nothing but shorts and shoes. In the last few years, Wim has become an enormous international success with his Wim Hof Method. He has been working with universities around the world to prove that his techniques really do work. And by doing so, he's changing the way we think about healthcare and well-being. He teaches his breathing techniques to some of the most successful people on the globe. And no wonder. Personally, I believe Wim's techniques can be very relevant for leaders, entrepreneurs and organizations. That's why I visited Wim at his home in the Netherlands. We had a very joyful encounter in which we discussed many topics. Where do we start? Where else could this be than in Wim's freezer?
And you do the running inside the freezer?
Yes, the running right over here. Now, it's already this minus 22.
Oh, you run like this, just rounds?
Yeah, I make rounds. Like 5 kilometers, I run like this. And halfway, I run back because for the knees.
Ah, yeah.
So this is what I do.
And what is then your state of mind while you're doing it?
Really, when it's minus 22, you're here and you run. You will be confronted with the life force within you. Absolutely. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, man.
Hey.
That's great.
Good.
I'd like to go back to the beginning, to your beginning, because I understand that even in your early childhood, you were trying to answer some existential questions for yourself.
Yes,
Can you tell something about this?
Of course. You know, as a young kid, like all the young kids, you look around in the world, you think, and television and all that, and you think suffering, pain, people die, people are not happy. I was just inquisitive toward it. I asked myself, what is happening? And I got a birthright to know what is happening in myself. So I went in against mainstream, who just says, yeah, what is happening, that is normal. And I saw so much disease and so much mental suffering, I thought, hey man, to me, you can think that is normal. To me, it's sick, man. I'm not going to go surrender to it. I'm not going to take that on, and that's it, and that's my life, and then I die. Hey, hell no. So began my soul search. I began to become a little bit eccentric into philosophies, into cultures, languages, esoteric disciplines, practices, yoga, judo, karate, all kinds, whatever I could get my hands upon. Psychic answers, mental hands, doesn't matter. And then when I was 17, I remember I got into this morning. I saw a cold water, a little thin layer of ice. It attracted me. I went in and I knew this is it. You don't talk, it just shuts up. You are there in full power, triggered by an element of nature. And the cold is really cold, freezing. But if you are right, then you got a opposite force will being activated, and that makes it. This is my connection with my mind and my body, and the cold triggers that.
To get really present in that moment.
Really present and at ease. So no toughness, at ease. While a very violent force is upon the body. And that makes you feel powerful. From there, I got a rush that day. And the other day, I went back, of course.
Again in the
whenever you feel back, it's like making love and you love it. And as soon as you're ready again, You go again. This is what I had with the cold. And really, it is a primordial force like making love. If this morning I was in my freezer, we can go later, I show you, like minus 21 or minus 22 between that. And I run for half hour in the freezer, in shorts. I love it. You know why? Because you are not picnicking. You are confronting the primordial power of your body surviving in that cold, and you can look at it. You meet yourself. It's like a meat locker, you know, freezer, but you meet yourself. And that is something different for people who are in corporate business. They go to the office from 9 to 5, stress themselves up, and deadline here and deadline. Where's your lifeline? That is in the freezer. Because then you recognize who you are, what you are, and it cleanses on cell level all the oxidative stress out of there. And then you function a whole lot better all day long.
So what do you see when you meet yourself? What do you see? Who are you then?
You are able to witness your body like survival. It's not like surviving. You are meeting yourself at the brain stem, the reptilian brain activated to survive, and you look at it. You look at the mere existence of your life force. Then you understand everything. You're simply there. Past any philosophy, past any speculation, you're there. And this is why I'm here. It's there. And it cleanses to cell level. Now it shows that what we have been showing in Radboud University, people injected with endotoxin, a bacteria, being able within a quarter of an hour, after 4 days of practice into the cold and breathing, they were able to control their innate immune system, and the bacteria had no chance. While the others who didn't train, all the 12 of them, got sick. Yeah. And with them, 16,000 others with the same endotoxemia model. And then suddenly 12 people trained in this way. So simple, so effective, so accessible. They were able 100% score to fend off the bacteria's influence on the immune system, inflammation that is, and to suppress it within a quarter of an hour. That is what you get.
That's amazing.
And spiritually is something like experience. It isn't in words. If it is in words, then it is poetry, trying to grasp spirituality.
Did the words that you read about in your teens help at all, or is it just a physical experience from 17?
It directed me. It gave me a certain direction. All the old scriptures, they talk about enlightenment, about spirituality, the serpent power, this and that, and the pneuma, the atman, the ki, the chi, and all those things, you know. But where is it? I don't know. And it's not in the books, I tell you. It's right over here. And that right over here, if you exercise that so simply, because it was forgotten. The churches run out. Spirituality. No, people want something else, but they don't know because they are alienated from this experience, because we fend it off. All the elements of nature are outside the houses. We don't live outside anymore. We don't know what that really is anymore. But we have a body that is stimulated through the elements of nature, developed to be stimulated, triggered, and to have a clear answer to adapt. Adaptation is called. And that makes us almost invulnerable in the prehistoric times to having need for a hospital or a pharmacy, because we got our own healing power. And all that was very shady, very Bhagwan, and all nice tries, and Maharishi coming to the West and all that. And I tell you, the wise men do not no longer come from the East, they come from the West. So we got the poetry, but we also got the biochemical evidence-based proof to show that it works on the level of the DNA itself. I'm doing right now a big study with the San Francisco UCLF, SF, on 150 people on the DNA. And one of them associated with is a Nobel Prize winner on the DNA. So it's no joke. Yeah. It's really coming together. This movement of eyes and breathing, and very important, believing that you are the one in charge of yourself, and also very able to be in charge of yourself and to guide that and to steer that. That now all is coming together through science and through this window of what we do. Yeah. We bring it to the people, non-speculatively. So how I began like 40 years ago or more, 45 years ago.
How old are you right now?
59.
59, yeah. 59.
I'm 59, 45 years ago, 14 years, 13 years, 12 years already. 12 years, even more, 47 years ago. And I'm still discovering the mystical power of the elements of nature. Like this morning, I was at minus 22. I love it. And I know and I can feel it cleanses me on cell level. Afterwards, directly I feel a boost. But if you go into severe, hormetic, stressful exercise, which is minus 22 a half hour, or 3 minutes ice bath, or cold water swimming, what you do, then you reset your body to the right neurology. And neurology is electricity, it's the nervous system. That needs to work, and then the outcome of your work will be a lot better. So what does it say? Physiologically, we got the answers. We have the answers. But now spirituality. Spirituality is nothing more than being clean within yourself in harmony with the outside forces called nature. The inner nature and outer nature are actually one. It's there. Only with our mind we block it so much that stress is happening on cell level. Cell biological stress. But in the end, it is telling the cell biological stress is telling, hey, get this stress out. And we have to do and learn this consciously. So spirituality, deep spirituality therein, is going to those levels we thought of. They are far out. And this is no longer there. Biological stress, DNA, telomere, longevity, quality of life, all that we are discovering now through science. And all these scientists, they say, we have been looking for 10 years after mapping out the DNA completely, a natural technique to get control over our DNA at will. And now we found this technique, and this is doing it. They are into discovering that. So spirituality, both spirituality, which is like the tribe before, is helping each other, being there for each other.
They're merging.
Emerging. I mean, you and me, if we are like a tribe, we don't make tension between us. We don't take advantage of each other, because in the long run, it creates oxidative stress. Oxytocin. You're my brother. It's non-sentimental, eh? It's you help me, I help you. We help the whole world. Yeah. And we help ourselves. Yeah. The best. In the long run, that is the best. So you want to live long with all the quality and the sense of purpose of life, Be good, man, be good. Because they made it so complicated with all kinds of religions, philosophies, disciplines, and dogmas and all those. That's why I went through science. And now science say, hey, these techniques are transformational. This will change mental health care. We are in it. That's Michigan. In San Francisco, I'm into DNA studies. Melbourne, we are into retrospective studies of what this method is doing. In Hanover, we are into the brain scans with the best of devices in the whole world. Nijmegen, here in the Netherlands, we do ongoing studies and finish the studies on chronic pain and inflammation. Spectacular results. And how? Only by going back to who we are and what we are. That's inside with the outside is the same. But because nobody believed that, nobody went there, and all the business went crazy just for money. The oceans get polluted and global warming and this and that, because we're killing the planet because we don't give a shit. We just want money. But now our new generations are having to deal with our shit. And that's, nobody wants that. If you look, a man really in his heart, no businessman wants to leave shit behind. Nobody is really hedonistic. Like après nous la déluge, after us the floods will come, etc. Nobody is like that. Only mate that like. And another thing, people are not stupid. They are just stupefied.
By what?
By saying that this is all normal. To exploit the world the way we do and not minding about what you do, as long as you can get the most of money, hey man, in the long run, it's no good. And it's not me telling, it's your body will tell it. And your DNA will tell that. And you will pay the bill. You will pay the bill, even though you don't see it. I'm into the studies to show it on DNA level. Hey, that's because of that, oxidative stress. How come? Because you have no purpose. If you do not live the purpose of yourself, if it doesn't make sense what you do in life, business or not, then it gets to you. If it is senseless, then it doesn't make contact with you. You are not developing, you are losing the connection with your heart, with the purpose of life, with biochemistry. And then in the end, it creates a residue and it piles up. And in the end of life, you don't know shit. And you got a lot of money, but hey man, no.
So where do you think it starts to find your own purpose?
I would say, because we have done all the science, I cut through the bullshit. I say, I tell you, you get in the morning with me at minus 22 for 20 minutes in a freezer, minus 22, in your shorts. Then you know the purpose of life itself is to survive, to be, and to feel strong, and to recognize that you got it all already and never gonna lose it. Because our minds make us, whoa, there, run. What do you think? That creates a wrong chemistry in our body. And the distance becomes bigger. And then you get all these diseases and mental disorders and the quality of life. Woo.
But do you then think that the state of mind that you reach at minus 22, that state of mind leads the way for you to understand what lives want?
Yeah, you know how? Because it resets on cell level. Nature is going to survive. That means all the unnecessary cells are going to be killed inside of the body. Stem cells are being activated. Cancer cells are being destroyed because they are not effective to survive. And then, because the shit is out there, the blockage is unblocked, and the water is flowing and your energy is flowing, and then you feel you get a boost. It's not a boost, it's just the way you really feel. And that is great.
It's like you're going back to normal,
Yes,
what you actually are.
you are going back to optimum. And there is the spirituality. And from there, you only have a taste for more, more. I like this feeling. Smell like making love. I like that feeling. I like that feeling too. They go paired. Love for life. It's all about love for life, yes.
So, what you're just saying, how can you translate this to organizations or to leadership or entrepreneurship?
Yes, if we just keep it past the philosophies, doctrines, dogmas and all that, and beautiful poetry and all, just get a freezer going in the morning. So you go past your thinking, your surface way of thinking, creating the wrong chemistry. You will meet yourself in the meat locker at minus 22. As I said before, they have to incorporate this in the corporate world. This, guys, you better do it now and do not wait, because it's going to come. The collapse of chronic diseases and oxidative stress. Nobody likes, but nobody knows an answer. This is the answer. This knows how to respond to the nowadays problem.
So would you propose to put a freezer in every office?
Or get before the outcome of going into the freezer versus not going into it is that your day is not as clear compared to the one who went through the freezer. He is clearer in mind. And a business like competition, you got to be creative. You got to be fast in your nervous system, in the neurology of your brain. I tell you, the best way to reset your neurology in the depth. And we got all the depth and the blah, 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 just half hour, minus 22 in the freezer. And you become not only mentally strong, but physically too. You will feel the purpose of life, the limitless of your mind in feeling. And that is something amazing, unique. And that uniqueness should be felt every day, not just on holidays. Holy days every day.
You're raising the bar a bit with your freezer, because a cold shower in the morning isn't good enough anymore.
I tell you, sometimes I hear these people, yeah, I take a cold shower. This morning, for example, I had a little phone call with a guy, also a business guy, but then in Australia, and he wants to kill himself. Cold showers don't do it. It just get deeper, man. Because whatever sucks you, you are able to get it out of your system. Use the power of nature. It's there, and we are built to be able to respond in adaptation toward that power, and thus guarantee the flow in the body.
So go for the real cold.
Yes. I would say begin with cold showers, because that does already. And one of my friends is a doctor, and he did a study on 3,000 people doing a cold shower, 30 seconds, 1 minute, 1.5, and nothing. And the ones who did nothing, and that's in the working field, they had a lot more colds and flus during the monthly ice challenge that was. That does a lot already. And your energy is boosted because your vascular system is being trained. But if you want to go deeper, it's there. And I see a great future for freezers in the world. And we will get back to the meat locker, not just carcasses of pigs and cows. It's us.
Cool.
That is cool.
So in your teens you find out about the workings of the cold, but your method is more than just cold, you have breathing techniques as well.
Yes.
How did you find out the impact of breathing?
Exactly. What do you do if you go into cold water? And at a certain moment, after regular going into cold water, you come to the realization that, oh, we're breathing deeper, is feeling deeper, is having sense deeper, is having control deeper, is changing chemistry. Then I separated the two of them. So first I went into this breathing because of the cold, became aware if I do that I am able to stay longer in cold and direct my body in freezing water and stay for half an hour, no problem. Yeah. Amazing. That's because of the breathing. We have become very shallow in our breathing because there is no force upon us. We control with our mind the environment. So our breathing became very shallow, like sneaky shallow. And that with the sneaky shallow breathing, you don't fill all the cells with the right nutrition, with the right chemistry. So what I did, by intuition, by instinct, separate the two, bring it home, do it at home. Marvelous, marvelous what these breathing techniques did to me and my experience to go in a warm place. It was marvelous, marvelous. So it appeared also to be in the universities that I train people in a couple of days being able to get into the autonomic nervous system through breathing techniques. And so these breathing techniques are very able for people with dealing with oxidative stress to cleanse it, to become very tranquil, because if you have oxidative stress resulting from a very stressful business doing, that is a charge within. It's electricity, man, and it's ongoing with adrenaline and everything, but we have no control. And once it begins to gallop like a horse inside and you have no control, hey man, all your porcelain is gone. All your subtle awareness, feeling, nice being, it's gone. That's the spirituality again. So how to get a control over the adrenal axis is done by the breathing. It's not only done by the breathing to get a control over the adrenal axis, it resets the body. Yeah. And then suddenly you have your innate control at deep level over your systems. That is the endocrine system, immune system, vascular system, lymphatic system, it shows now in the Radboud University. Yeah. Also thought of not being able to be accessed by humans at will. Now it is. We go past the firewalls, the so-called impenetrable areas of the body. We cannot do that at will. It happens sometimes. No, there a whole lot of garbage, acidity is being stored, but we were not able to get there. And now we are able, through these breathing techniques, to get past these firewalls and to cleanse it. It's amazing. So, yes, so effective and so accessible. I tell you, the freezer is gonna take over the world.
So you're telling me nature has taught you a lot about yourself and about reality and where we are right now. Is it still teaching you?
Oh yes, nature, as the cold, is a relentless positive bastard. He is always there, and you think you know it, and then he tells you, no man, I'm out there, you gotta look for me. It's mystical. It's amazing. The cold is a mystical power. The cold, the environment, we think we can control with our mind. Oh, I know it now. I did 26 world records. I did numerous more challenges in the cold, in the Everest, in the Kilimanjaros, with a lot of people and all kinds of things. And then still, I don't know the fuck what is going on with the cold. And then when a time I'm not doing it, because I think I know it, yeah. And I get back, wow, there I get a shot of nature itself. And then, man, it's so mystical, so beautiful. It really needs to be integrated into our lives because we have a tendency to alienate from our inner nature.
What do you like about the process?
Interesting, by the way, this conversation. Yes, it takes two to tango, you
Yeah,
know?
that's true. We need each other.
Yes.
So what do you enjoy so much about the process of expanding yourself and going into that cold and
I mean, I think it's the best drugs ever. To expand your consciousness, the neurology begins to bind inside. That's what I want. I don't want a little mind living that repetitiously all the time, over and over and over. I get bored, and everybody gets bored. Only everybody is compromised or what or not. It doesn't matter. I don't like it. I like to go. I like to live. I like to live inside and to understand the mystical power by experiencing.
But to further expand your consciousness, do you need more extreme situations in the cold, or it's not like that?
Not really. There are different. In the beginning, I did a lot of experimenting with my body and mind in nature. And then I got into television things, and they began to challenge me. I did a lot of world records. Climbing Mount Everest in shorts, or
You have 26, right?
yeah, 26, and going under the ice, running in the desert, running beyond the polar circle, hanging by one finger, staying for 2 hours in the ice, etc., etc., etc. All those records, that is a time. It's like a little child plays with little things, you know. And at a certain moment, it doesn't attract you as much as my son of 7.5 months. He thinks this is magic. It's a drawing is energy, not yours anymore. Yeah, maybe a little funny, thank you, and that's it, you know. So at a certain stage, I was into experimenting with my body. Then a television came, and I performed all kinds of crazy stunts. And I did that, and then science came in. The scientists, they saw a man doing things impossible according to science. Yeah. So they began to question. And they got into me, began to experiment with me. That was my next stage. And then I came to the realization, hey man, I can change the books. I can change what people think is possible into bringing it a real big level higher up and change the paradigm, change the dogma, change whatever, our possibilities. So there I am, and right now I'm ready to take on the world already with all kinds of scientific research all over the world, and I love the scientific scrutiny coming in, the critical mass coming in, and to reach the critical mass by critical people, because I believe nature has the answers to all our problems. And that is a conquest where I am in right now. On the other hand, I'm also a living person, physical. So in physicality, I'm here with my family. I got a 7.5 months old baby, yeah. Beautiful, and he is beautiful. He is amazing. He is the purpose of life. Yes, of course, that's the source. And for those next generations, I want to do anything to break it open, because I don't want him to be part of the lottery where you can get cancer or depression and nobody knows the answer, because the whole industries depend on us being sick. And nobody is, everybody's silenced. No, man, the natural medicine, it is time for our neurology in our brain, which has 50 years ago brought a rocket to the moon as a fruit of our mind. And the iPhones, it's amazing, but still we cannot guarantee happiness, strength and health. I think not to the moon and the loonies, inside. Yeah, let's get back to the earth, to the inner power, connect with the earth, live in harmony with the earth, and there is the sense, the purpose, and the good for our coming generations. And I'm just talking sense with a man as a common sense, the tribe, The tribe needs to come back. We are no enemies of each other. Competition, hey man, you go in minus 22, you don't need competition. You get the best out of yourself. And then you see what kind of ridiculous idea the competition actually is. Yeah. In principle, it was made to be with the Spartans and Athens and the Olympics at those times. But those times are no longer. We are no longer in ability to make war to each other. Yeah. That is what the evolution and nature is telling us. It's a product of our mind that we are able to make nuclear bombs. So get on your bum and begin to think the right thing and get back to the core, the nuclear of understanding that it doesn't make sense to fight each other. We got to work with each other. And the natural elements are very able to bring about the best within us. Not to the moon, no, right here. Happiness, strength and health. And pass that on to others.
I totally agree. We live in a time where we can really co-create the reality we want to live in.
That is a nice acknowledgement. Because it's not only me telling this, even though I got science to back me up, but it's common sense. I'm talking common sense, man.
And I really believe this can be the reality we're going to live in with each other. Like it's some sort of heaven on earth or something.
Yes, absolutely.
Created together.
Oh yeah.
Start with yourself. It all starts with yourself, not with the politicians or whatever.
No, you have to learn to govern yourself. Go past the politics of your brain and just feel good. Feel strong, happy, healthy. Erin, that's my woman. Hey, woman. No, the woman. I'm in the middle of the interview. This is my woman. She's from Australia.
I get it.
Yeah. Eyes like the sky. Blue eyes. All of them. I love it. I love you too, man.
Likewise.
Yeah, you got a great presence.
Thank you.
You're a handsome man.
Thanks.
Yeah, keep on going. Do your good work.
I will.
Yes. Right on.
I was wondering, because in the last couple of years you have become a big mainstream name, I think all over the world. If you want to learn the Wim Hof Method, you can in every big city across the world. You have people who are able to instruct other people to learn your methods.
Yes.
Did you ever expect that this was going to happen with your work?
You know, I think I never not expected it not to happen. I was always in free thinking. So I believe in what I do, and that's where I was and stay and keep on the way I did for 10 years ago or 20 years ago. Yeah. I got the same belief system. So I don't exclude anything. That is the difference with me. They say, be real, keep it real and all that. Me keeping real?
No way.
It's no way, man. I'm out of it all. I think this life is too great to not take advantage of all you got, and not to think in limits. So I think not only to change the books in the world, we change the paradigm, we change the universe. Because the earth is the most beautiful spot in the whole universe. That's where we are. We should live and understand and feel accordingly. And that's where I want to bring it. And with that, man, we are the masters of the universe. We will depict and no longer suppress our beautiful life force to become something amazing. There we are.
Awesome.
It is awesome. Life is awesome.
So if you could go 20 years ahead from now, where do you want to be? What did you achieve atop on, or where you already are? Because you achieved a lot already.
Yes. Okay. 20 years.
So you're 79 then?
Yes. No. Yeah, 79.
Yeah.
79. 79. Yeah, I got a person, I have to tell, who I met 4 years ago, who was 74 or 75 then, and he is 79 now. And he never climbed a mountain. And a year later, he climbed the Kilimanjaro with me
Yeah.
in shorts in a racketan. And now he is doing it this year, he did it on his own.
The Kilimanjaro.
The Kilimanjaro in shorts, in a racketan, like 30 hours or something. Huh? That you know, age, there's a whole lot to come. And right now I'm into the DNA, so I'm changing the way we are able to look at telomere, the longevity of life, the cell division and all, and they are doing the study. So with that, you get a change of paradigm and you get a change of exercising your body and your mind. And then you become the controller, not only over the universe, but over the length of your life. So I'm into that. That's one of it. In general, in 20 years, this will be so widespread all that people live really in guarantee, happy, strong, and healthy lives. And they are able, to me, that is called love. You want to give love to your child, isn't it? Guarantee it health, happiness, and strength. Not 6 cars and 7 cars make you happier. Your happiness makes you happy. Unconditional. And it's already there. Just keep it there. So that's where I want people to be taught in the primary school, in the kindergarten, or anywhere, that all the parents are able to guarantee a close connection, in control, at will, for their children, also living in it, wherein they have a complete mastery over their mood. And that's what I'm already showing in studies just published in Neurology that shows we have the compelling evidence of the autonomous processes in the brain at will, in control, related to mood regulation. Thought of not possible, now it is possible. So in 20 years, it's going to be fully implemented in mental health care, that things are, people don't take pills anymore. Depression is out of there. Bipolar is out of there. Anxiety is out of there. Fear is out of there. Trauma is out of there. How about that world? That's in 20 years, it will be implemented, because I am not into the money. I earn my money, etc. Very fine. But I live my life like I always live in, with a second-hand bike, and I'm happy. I do my freezer thing. I got a facility, yes. But everybody is using it. Yeah. So I use it as well. Yeah. And a freezer is there for everybody in their surrounding area. It's accessible. So I live the life I always live. Only I got a lot of more money, but I keep it there. No, there's no need. Yeah. But I'm doing a lot of good work with this. I'm bringing things to science, just to science. That is the main focus, and to make it widespread, as you said. It's already widespread, but this needs to be changing regular health care. Needs to know regular health care implemented, that we are the masters and not the pharmaceutical industry. And that's great to have a healthy economy industry on our sickness. I say we have to become healthy. Yeah. It's a very human thing. And also the people working in the pharmaceutical industry, it has developed itself because we gave it a chance. Because we didn't knew better. But now the alternatives are there. And it's not just alternative medicine, it's real. Evidence-based in our to connect with the abilities of ours to become happy, strong, and healthy. Sorry.
So,
Yeah.
so in the end, for you, it's about contributing to a more happy and healthy humanity on Earth.
Absolutely, yeah. To get back When my mother was 80 years, she said to me, I don't know where the years have gone. Stand still, man, and do that every day. Because you have an ability to look retrospectively at your life, at your being, at your life force every day. Yeah. We have to really bring that like a meditation in the schools. Learn not only mathematics and history, but learn that you are life force and what is it right now to bring that to an optimum in control. Is that meditation? If I go into the freezer, minus 22, it's like meditation. Deep meditation. Yeah. I mean, very effective deep meditation. But meditation takes a very long time. And they are in psychiatric research, which I'm doing right now with Michigan, yeah. Detroit, Wayne State, neuroscience. They say this goes deeper than deep meditation, this technique. So now we found an adequate answer to all those problems like bipolar, depression, neurological disorders of the brain. We found them and we found the key components thereof. So now it's a matter of time that we will take over, implement it into mental health care and change the industry.
Wim, thanks a lot for your time. I think it was a really extraordinary interview, conversation.
I think so too. It always takes two to make the conversation. And I'm learning. While I'm talking, I see new things. Because it's energy. And if the energetic level is at the same platform, out of there, then we create something and suddenly, hey, look at that, never saw that. That's what I saw this interview 2 times. So I thank you very much too.
Awesome, thank you, man.
It was great. Yeah, wonderful. This is my artistic view of the Kilimanjaro in the morning with the mist still going on. Very cheap, 5 euros canvas. And I make this picture in one day. I got more of those pictures, different pictures, of course. You see the savannah.
I climbed the Kilimanjaro about 4 years ago, but I needed 8 days. You do it in 1 day, right?
Yeah, 28 hours.
Yeah.
28 hours.
Which for most people is absolutely not normal because you have the height sickness. Yeah.
Altitude, yes, acclimatization and all. I painted this, as you see, it's the savannah, and it's like my impression of the sort of Arusha or Serengeti, the endless plains of Africa. And in the back, this is the mist in the morning, and this is the Kilimanjaro. It's coming from the night in the day.
A lot of people worry about what's going to happen in the next 10 or 15 years when we have artificial intelligence and a lot of processes in businesses are automated and we have more people at home because there's no work. But in the end, I think it's a good thing because when people have time, instead of they have to work for their money,
exactly,
we can become creative again.
It's if we don't understand it, the nature, evolution is showing how the mind works. That's why we get automated robots and work forces and all that. It shows us actually, hey, you become creative because we are doing the job.
Yeah.
We are doing the survival part. You just get into the consciousness, into creating, into being beautiful and bring it to the world, to the universe. That's a responsibility or the ability to respond. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful to be creative. I always say, sex is a big part of my life, the drive. But if I paint, this is the first time I don't feel the sex. I'm into relationship with the universe itself. I can create. Creation, babies are creations. This is also creations. So powerful is it if you become creative. But for that, we need the robots to take care of the shit. Hey, right on.
Nicely put.